Hey everyone, this is Coach Dave March here, and in this episode of the Growth Mindset Podcast, we're going to have a special guest, Alex, on the call, and we're going to be talking about the difference between recruiting, career coaching. Stick around, it's going to be a great episode. We're back. All right, so we're here. We've got my co-host, Patrick Brown, of course, and our special guest today is Alex. Say hello to the good people.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, and so this episode is going to be really interesting. I'm constantly seeing um, candidates not understanding the difference between a career coach and recruiter, and it's an issue because a recruiter just doesn't have the time to dedicate all of their energy to one candidate. That's just not how the system how it works. I mean, if you're a recruiter, you have multiple recs, you have multiple hiring managers you need to speak to. There's projects, initiatives, and simply you just don't have the time and energy to dedicate fully to one candidate. And that's really the difference between a career coach, which career coach really does help that one candidate find exactly where they want to go based on their interests, based on their personality, based on whatever goals they have as well. And yeah, what are your thoughts on that, Alex?
Yeah, I completely agree. You're getting pressure from the business, from the company that you're working from if you're a recruiter. And so it is hard to just kind of dedicate all of your time to one candidate, even if you think that individual is amazing and they can really brighten up the business and really work hard to really push things forward in terms of what you're trying to achieve. But yeah, career coach is, certainly someone who can be more dedicated, who can really understand the journey that you've been on properly, and really try to, work on those skills that you have to ensure that you're going to be and even more effective in terms of what you're doing. So yeah, it gets convoluted quite a lot, but I'm really glad that we're having this episode to really try and set things straight because I think it's really important that it will really help people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, one of the things I think that's really interesting is when you really do start thinking about it, um, the work, the activities, the exercises that a career coach is doing almost destroys the process of recruiting.
Hmm.
Because if you're a recruiter and you're trying to assess the competencies of a particular individual, you're not looking to give them all the answers. You're not looking to spoon feed them all the answers. How am I really assessing their competency if I tell them what to do, what to say, how to say it, as a coach would?
Exactly,
I
exactly.
mean, it seems like you'd be hooking them up, basically. You know what I mean? Taking someone who may not be, but giving them all the answers and pretty much hooking them up with a job just off the criteria of knowing what the company is, which is kind of a backdoor thing to do to the company, more so on that side of things to, get a candidate that might not be as qualified as they need to be, but you kind of coach them into the position. So, mm,
Yeah, I mean, look, this is going to be a reason why maybe you're not getting responses from some recruiters if you're asking them to do everything for you, give you the answers, provide you information about, the role that, because that's not their role, that's not what they're recruited to do. And they're trying to find the best people. So you need to show that initiative if
mm.
you're speaking to a recruiter. Like David mentioned, it's very different in terms of career coach.
I
I can
mean, I think
understand
in the terms of basketball, you wouldn't go to an NBA tryout and ask them to help you practice.
that.
So yeah,
No way. Yeah,
You just
that's
wouldn't
where
do it. You
I have
just
it.
wouldn't do it. You just wouldn't do
exactly.
it.
Great analogy.
Um, so
That's why it's really important for a recruiter to build a good relationship with their hiring managers because then they understand more about them, more understand more about what they like and what maybe they need. So those are definitely two different things, in a sense.
This is
But
a
everything
great
is,
point right here. There's a great point right
yeah,
here. So I'm glad we're here on this. But think about it this way, right? Um, a recruiter, a recruiter's recommendation holds a lot of weight because
yes,
of the strength of the relationship they have.
yeah,
Mm, got you. Hmm.
yeah,
So in the end, I guess we're drilling it down. We say the recruiter works for the company, but that's a broad thought. It's really the recruiter and the hiring manager and the career coach and the candidate that are
Yeah,
the
correct. So you could almost see it like this. Because I like to see it like this. So the recruiter has existing relationships with hiring managers, and that's to say, if you're a staffing agency recruiter, you have a strong relationship with the hiring manager, and if that recruiter recommends that candidate to the hiring manager because the recommendation holds a lot of weight,
yeah,
there's a higher likelihood that they're going to interview.
hmm
Um,
yeah,
but as a career coach, there is extremely high possibility that the company that you want, I don't have any relationships with.
mm,
Because the whole point is that
yes,
you're leading the show here. The whole point is
yes,
that I'm dedicated to you. So whatever you want to do, we'll work together on it. So
yeah,
very, very high chance that I have no relationships with the company that you want because you just want whatever company you want. I don't have
yes,
relationships with the
exactly.
entire world.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess that brings the question now. I'm on the side of wondering, as far as a career coach, when you run into someone who even may be you look at their resume and everything, it's like, yeah, you probably be a good candidate for this company. I don't have any rapport with this company. Is there a way to try and gain that or break
Yeah. I
through?
think that, and again, that's the main difference between a career coach and a recruiter. And how can we do that? By communicating with them. How are we going to communicate with them? Email. You communicate with them on LinkedIn. You have to communicate to have a relationship, right? So it has to be
Yeah,
what form of outreach are you going to use to build this relationship?
yeah,
You know? And so that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if cold email works, you could do cold email outreach. And that would be one piece of a job search strategy to build a relationship with someone there. Um, and so that's what
yeah.
I think. And then there are things that you could do in your outreach messages that will get you ahead.
I was thinking about when you said you can have knowledge, but embodiment of knowledge
Oh
is the
yeah.
so yeah, it's there.
And it relates to the article that you put on. It's about, yeah, building relationships, or building a relationship in a sense. And I'm not trying
Yeah,
to
you're
go out with
networking.
anybody,
You're trying to
but
network.
networking in that sense. And for me, and I've got very recent examples of this, um, you know, people reaching out to me, and maybe talking about a role that they're interested in, but really telling me and showing me how much they want to work for the organization. That sits for me really well. And if they haven't been successful with one opportunity, they've taken it on the chin and said, um, I'm interested in moving forward for another opportunity. And they just show a real interest. And for me, in your article, you mention about kind of just building up and kind of, I can't remember exactly what it is that you
Oh
said.
yeah,
Sorry
I think
about
I
that.
said yeah,
Yeah.
I think I said like deposits. You make like deposits.
Yeah, deposits, and it really is true. If somebody can really show that they're really keen on the organization just as much as the role, it's like, wow, okay, they really want to work for for your organization. They're really thinking about how they can really positively impact um, the organization.
Knew the organization like history as well as let's say some of the downfalls the organization have and even possibly some solutions they thought about. For example, like I said, I used to work for Toyota and they had an issue with the Camry or whatever. And if I noticed that and then I came to want to be part of the organization and was able to even say, I looked at when y'all had this downturn, and I think with what I know could help prevent certain situations because you're, really into the company, that probably would
Yes,
stand out uh
absolutely.
more. So
10,000%. 10,000%. Yeah, yeah.
Research. Do the research in the company.
Research. And
facts.
Do the
it's
research.
it's it's amazing. Do you know what? Like, the job descriptions are overlooked. I know, like, read them. Please, my biggest advice to anybody is read the job descriptions properly and analyze elements of that because those are nuggets that the organization are giving you. And if you can kind of, in your messaging to me or to any recruiter, if you can, like, Patrick just mentioned, if you can kind of give a resolution based on what you've read a solution, sorry, based on what you've read in the job description, and you can show us that you can solve a problem in terms of what we're doing as an organization. We're going to be like, ding, 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 ding. Okay, we have to speak to you, and you stand out more than anyone else because you've gone the extra length. You've gone extra, a little bit further to show that you are the right candidate. And so,
Right.
I would be silly not to want to speak to you and to not bring you forward for, a further review.